Hi, I'm Paul Imboden with Split Second Games. This is Quicksilver, our debut title. It's an airship racing game for 2 to 6 pilots. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes per player once you get the rule set down, and it's a reconfigurable board that you can make as peaceful or as nasty as you want it to be. It really ends up reflecting your gaming group's style of play. To start the race, you can set up your racetrack in as many different configurations as you want. The checkpoints are movable. The checkpoints can be set up to be maneuvered clockwise or counterclockwise around. You can set it up with 1, 2, or 3 checkpoints, so there are a multitude of ways that you can set up the base board. In addition to that, every pilot at the beginning of the race gets an opportunity to add more obstacles onto the board, whether it's a flying minefield that people need to avoid running into, turrets on top of mountaintops to take shots at pilots, or additional cloud coverage to slow your race down just a little bit. Once you've set up your track and you've set yourself up on the racetrack, you're ready to go. Everybody has starts with a hand of 5 cards. And these cards do a number of things. They can help you gain resources that you've lost. They can prevent you from being attacked. They can allow you to regain your cards to maximum hand size. They can also help mitigate some of the luck of the dice with the number in the corner. On your turn, you will accelerate or decelerate your velocity by 1, or you can stay at your current rate. For every point of velocity, you will roll that number of dice. The dice have had the 5s and 6s removed and replaced with 2s and 3s, so each die has a natural bell curve and leans towards the 2 and 3 point. You'll roll that number of dice. That is the number of spaces you're committed to moving during the turn. Now, you can spend the first point of your turn to pivot your ship in a different direction should you wish. If I was here, I could turn my ship 60 degrees in this direction and move an additional 3 spaces for a total of 4 points. If I didn't think I had enough get up and go, though, I can spend one of my card points for its movement value and either add or subtract that number to my movement. It encourages players to cycle through their cards, get rid of cards that have no value to them at this point, and also to keep the race tight if you are running behind. Unfortunately, it keeps you from using the points for their card effects. You're sacrificing it for its point value. You can play as many cards for their effect on yourself as you want in a turn. So in this case, you could play to gain armor points if you were running behind on your protection. You could also place this card in front of you, which would keep people from attacking you that round. You can also play cards on other people, but that's considered an attack, and you can only successfully attack an opponent once per round. It keeps people from dogpiling on the leader, and it keeps the race very, very tight as a result. 80% of our races end up being within about a turn or 2 of each other. There's very little runaway leaders, because after somebody has crossed a checkpoint for the first time, all other players get to raise their hand limits to their maximum value again. The race leader only has the benefit of staying in front of the race. At that point, it becomes a sprint to get to the finish line as quickly as possible. And again, once you've got the cards down and you understand the interaction, the game's strength ends up being the interaction between the players. It ends up focusing on the race, but it really ends up focusing on how everyone is deciding to race that day. Or is it going to be a nasty, slow drag out of a fight? You're going to have a lot of attacks. If you're going to be sprinting, you're going to be using those cards to get through the race as fast as you can. And again, it ends up taking on the flavor of your group more than anything else. It really lets you shine in what your group enjoys doing. We've found that a lot of people have really taken a shine to the game over the last couple of months. Eric Summerer has great things to say about us at the Dice Tower. There's some other people that I play Unplugged who really enjoy the game. We already are making our first expansion for free, available soon. It'll include weather conditions that allow you to have for instance, the clouds could be thunderstorms and could end up attacking you at the end of your turn if you're stuck inside of one. We think there is a lot of room for growth if there is an audience for this game. We think there is an audience for this game, and we're just now out here at Gen Con trying to find that audience.